What's going on, guys? Welcome to the It Doesn't Matter podcast, where we don't give a damn about your 5-star wedding. We call it like how we see it. I'm your host. I'm the notorious one. I am Dom. And tonight, business is about to pick up. We're taking it back to the Attitude Era, Canadian Stampede. Oh, yeah, in your house 16. One of the most electric, hard-hitting events of all time. With me tonight, I got my boys. I got the crew. I got the trash talker. I got the man with all the knowledge. I got Strap Facts John. And I got my man all the way down in Delaware, and he is bringing the facts like good old JR with a steel chair. We got BDC, and we got my man who's never afraid to bury anybody. We got the Dominican Dream, Papi Platano, and he always keep it 100. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Like my shirt.
Ooh, that's enough.
So fresh and so clean.
I know.
That's enough. Yes, that is enough, because we're going to take it back to July of 1997. And this right here was one of the pay-per-views of the year, 1997, right? Ain't that right, John?
It definitely was a pay-per-view of 1997.
One of the top pay-per-views of 1997. That's the question.
Absolutely, Dom. It was yes, it was.
Yes. All right. Well, the show takes place. Well, the show takes place in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and we see a video package of Bret the Hitman Hart, who was a fan favorite who turned heel because of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He reunited the Hart Foundation, and then we seen something that we never seen before. The good guys became bad, and the bad guys became good in the USA and Canada. So tonight, basically, in our main event, we have Team USA taking on Team Canada, and we are in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and that's where the home field is going to be, and that's where the Hart Foundation is going to rock.
Yeah, they always say something about Canada, something in the water or the air, man. It's bizarre world. Whatever was good is bad, and whatever is bad is good over there. So you're in for a treat. This is probably one of the most entertaining pay-per-views I've ever seen and relived, actually.
Yes, well, this is Platano's choice. So, Platano, why did you choose In Your House 16 Canadian Stampede?
Well, one of the greatest rivalries of all time, Bret and Austin, was happening around this time. Unfortunately, Bret would leave maybe a few pay-per-views later after this. Let's see, this is Canadian Stampede. He'd win the title at SummerSlam. So we got about 6 more months of Bret, or no, 4 or 5 months of Bret, and then he's off to WCW. But honestly, I remember certain parts of the show, and it was a banger. I mean, a banger. I'm not talking about the match. You'll understand what I'm talking about later.
All right. Well, we got Vince McMahon, good old JR, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary, and they all got the cowboy hats. And I want to know, where the hell did the King find his hat? Because that's the hat John needed. We need that in Dallas. Where the hell did he find that?
Did you see the hat that Howie had? I'm like, look at Deputy Dog.
That hat was ginormous, man. That hat was ginormous.
It's only, John, what'd you say, 2X? That's what you needed?
No, I have a very large head. I need a 3X, my friend.
3X.
Brock Lesnar over here.
Here comes the pain. Sorry, Mom.
Here comes the pain.
Sorry, ladies. I recognize you. I don't.
All right. Well, our opening match, we have Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China taking on Mankind. They show a video package of how this match, how we got here, basically. And it was a physical matchup. China got involved. She body slammed Mick Foley onto the stairs. That was pretty dope how Triple H threw him into her. And yeah, I said it right the first time. That made no sense. Whatever. He got slammed, and then Triple H bringing out the chair, working on the bad leg, and yeah, it was a violent matchup. I definitely enjoyed it. And the only thing I didn't really enjoy was at the finish of the match, it ended in a double count out. And I said this to John off air. I said, this rivalry right here with Mick Foley, Mankind, and Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, elevated their career. Because we all know where it led to. We got the cage match. We got the debut of Cactus Jack, the return of Cactus Jack. We had Dude Love. Then you remember January 4th, 1999, Foley wins the title because of the
Good old Bischoff.
Stone Cold Steve Austin and Eric Bischoff, of course. Guys, what are your thoughts on Triple H and Mankind at this time?
Yeah, you would not know this would be one of the rivalries of the Attitude Era, which made both guys main eventers.
Yep.
Originally, Mick came in mainly just for Undertaker. If you think about it, he came in, he did his thing with Taker, and then for some reason, Mick was great with everybody between Austin, Shawn, the little thing with Goldie for a little bit, for like a month, I think, if I remember correctly. But it just, Mick was that guy that no one saw coming except for the DOA. God damn it. Hope you guys trip. Oh. Now I gotta let
That
the
is
BSK
horrible,
go.
man.
They always know when we're recording for some reason. Fucker. Yeah, but I gotta say, the real MVP of the whole Attitude Era was Mick Foley. If you think about all the guys that were superstars and who was the centerpiece around most of them, it was Mick. Mankind, Cactus, Dude Love, all of them.
Yeah.
Between DX to Austin, Taker, whew. I mean, look at Trips.
Yeah.
Mick Foley made a bunch of guys a lot of money, and he was basically the MVP, the unsung MVP.
Stratfax, do you believe that Mick Foley's the unsung MVP of the Attitude Era?
Yeah, I can't help but think, as Platinum was recalling all the feuds and matches that Mick Foley had as Mankind in his early days of the WWF. I'm thinking like backstage, because a lot of all of these guys were in WCW in the prior half of 1995, so, and he's very, very well known and regarded as a nice person, as a nice guy. And so he made a lot of friends, and so those friends they wanted to work with each other, put each other over, a different version of the Clique, I guess you could say,
Right.
So he was friends with Austin, probably made friends with a very young Triple H and guys like that. So when they became more well known in the WWF, it's like, hey, let's give it back to each other. Let's work together. Let's get each other over. And Mick Foley, he was. That's why he was such a central part in all of that. That's why he's one of Shawn Michaels' literal, favorite opponents over the years of all the matches Shawn Michaels has had. So yeah, Mick Foley definitely a central part of everyone's careers, especially the formative guys of the Attitude Era. And he would come back over the years, and his notable feud for those times would be Edge and Randy Orton. So Mick Foley, whether you like him or not, always being a good Samaritan for the world of pro wrestling. So good for him.
I gotta interject also. I think the one rivalry we never got to see and that we missed because he went to WCW was Brett versus Mick. That could have been something different. That you got that brawler. I mean, Brett was a brawler himself. He could make anybody go, but I want to see how Brett would have handled that hardcore style that Mick brought over to everybody. Because I don't know, Brett could make anybody, but that would have been different. I don't know what he could have done with that.
Yeah, I think Bret Hart was starting to, because all wrestling was kind of headed into a less traditional way. Something obviously Bret Hart was kind of against, but really toward the end of his career, he was wrestling guys like Terry Funk in those hardcore matches in WCW. It's really forgotten about, but he was starting to get involved in that realm of wrestling, and I think it would just be another avenue for the Hitman. Obviously, the Hitman's great as a technical wrestler in the ring, but I think now, at that time, he's starting to, whether he liked it or not in real life, he's starting to get into the brawling aspect of wrestling. And you're right, who knows where he could have gone with that? You can imagine what kind of matches he would have had with someone like Mankind. I guess we'll just never know, but I think he would have done very well with that.
Here's another one. I'm sorry, I know this is way off topic, but what if that character do love that Dom loves so much versus the anti-American Bret Hart, where he's really going into them? You really want to be this boy toy, the quote unquote fake sexy boy, and then yeah, baby, ah,
Lord.
I can just see it.
I don't want to see that garbage.
They would have made
man.
magic though with that. I don't know. Brett would have figured something out with that one.
Lord. Lord have mercy.
BDC, what are your thoughts on Hunter Hearst, Helmsley, and Mankind? This match right here.
Well, I mean, it was a fun match to watch, and it's crazy to imagine at this time we're looking at Hunter Hearst Helmsley, what he would become. You know, at the time he was heavily gimmicked as, oh, he's this English gentleman, and it's kind of like the feud with Mankind kind of started to bring out the game in him, which then led into DX, which led into him becoming the game Triple H and where he is now. And it's crazy to imagine that Mankind literally, yep, he had Triple H like he said. You know, Taker, he literally almost killed himself for Taker. He did so much to sacrifice himself to become the Attitude, in a lot of ways of the Attitude Era, the physical Attitude, I would say. You know, you had Stone Cold, who could shoot off at the mouth. You had The Rock, who could shoot off at the mouth. But when it really came to the physical attitude of the Attitude Era, it was Mankind, because he was willing to do any and everything to make other wrestlers look good, to make the crowd jump out their seats, and you know, literally just sacrificing himself time in and time out. And I think that is very understated, because you have the Stone Colds, the Rocks, they're the legends, and for the long time Mick Foley was just the hardcore legend. And it was like, it took some time for people to just realize, you know, he's not just a hardcore legend, he's just a legend. He's literally just a legend. Hardcore was his way in the door, but he is very much a legend for what he did through what would be one of the transformative times of WWE, going into the quote unquote golden era of World Wrestling Federation / entertainment. He was one of the main guys, and literally he is the guy that turned the Monday Night Wars over for WWE once and for all. He is that guy, because, you know, again, Bischoff thought, oh, I'll announce that he became champion, and so many people were so invested on the lovable loser Mick Foley in many different ways that everything turned over to WWF that night, and they were never behind again after that.
It's true. Well, this opening match doesn't matter. A lot to know.
Yes, it definitely matters.
BDC.
Absolutely.
Strap.
It does matter, yes.
This opening match definitely does matter, especially for both men's career.
Yep.
All right, our next match, we have Taka Michinoku. Here we go, versus the great Sasuke. Strap facts, who the hell is Sasuke?
Would you like a super aggro with that order?
I would like some Sasuke, please.
I mean, Japan, just like America, has a lot of independent promotions, a lot of wrestling promotions, and I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I think they both came from Michinoku Pro, which, you know, I have to wonder, that must be Taka's main promotion.
I was thinking that too.
Right.
But you know, I mean, they're like I said, there's like big promotions like All Japan and New Japan, and you have the smaller ones. Nowadays, you can identify them as you know, the men's like Dragon Gate, or the women's like Stardom, or I don't even know the other one's name, honestly. But like I said, there's just so many groups, and just like America, you know, you can't have WWE, AEW, TNA. I mean, NXT is part of WWE, You can have GCW, you can have Major League Wrestling. You know, there's tons. There's so many.
Right.
So that's what that is. But the great Sasuke was sorry, he was a top independent wrestler, and you can see he's a very talented guy. And just like on the independents in the U.S. now and back then, there were just tons of incredible talent anywhere. It's just if they had a platform to show that off or not. And these two will probably be premier ones in Michinoku Pro, and they got a chance to show it off here in Canada. I mean, this is an era that I lived through, but you know, when I look back on the history of it, it's like Canada is and probably always has been a great stop for Japanese wrestlers because they're coming to North America, but they don't have to necessarily come into the United States. So even today, I mean, you know, Tanahashi and Ishii and Kojima, they can come to what looks like America, but it's actually Canada, and they can if they do have a good working visa or good passport, they can make their way over the border into, you know, like Detroit and do shows up there, Chicago, which they have done. So that's just the easy on the flights and easy on getting through immigration and all that stuff. But yeah, these two guys were from Michinoku Pro, probably the top ones there, and they got to showcase their skills here, something that they were, the WWF was trying to do against the uprising of the cruiserweights from WCW. This is what they decided to show off, and this was the peak of that. They're going for the light heavyweight division championship later in the year, and they couldn't fill it out as well as WCW did. Guys like, before he was Crowbar, Devon Storm, here he is, a light heavyweight, Devon Storm. Man, he is no Juventud Guerrero, let me tell you. Here comes Brian Christopher. Not exactly Eddie Guerrero. Here comes the Fantastics. Who? So, WWF's light heavyweight division, not anything special, but at the time, the beginning of it were guys like Taka, Michinoku, and Great Sasuke, and it was off to at least a promising start, and that's why they had such a showcase here with the small amount of time they were given on this 2-hour pay-per-view.
Well, seeing this reminded me of WCW because even before the match started, they were showing Triple H and Mankind fighting through the crowd. So that's some WCW vibes right there.
Yeah.
And then the match finally begins, and then Sasuke, Suzuki, it doesn't matter what his name is, he was giving Taka the business.
Don't
they
feel
got
bad
to the point where my man was sitting in
because
the
the
corner.
announcers got it wrong too. The announcers called him Sasuke. So they got it wrong too. Don't worry about it. Don't feel bad.
I ain't worried about it.
I mean, yeah, he was definitely the great Sasuke for the longest time, but over the years I've learned that it's pronounced Sasuke.
Sasuke, yeah.
Sasuke, all right.
Yeah.
All right, well, he was giving Taka the business. Even got to the point where Taka was laid out in the corner, and then he kicked him. He kicked the shit out of him in his face. Yeah. I was like, whoa. Yeah. And Taka was stunned. Like, he was stunned when he got up, and then he tried to kick him again.
There's your strong style.
There's
your strong
That's
style.
like one of those things where it's like, all right, young boy, I'm going to teach you how we really work in the major leagues. And I was like, oof, that was a little stiff.
Yeah, but Taka finally got his senses back, but Sasuke got the win. I can't tell you how, because I rewound like twice. I don't remember how he got the win. Do you remember?
I know that Taka did his signature Michinoku driver for a near fall.
Yeah, he kicked out. I'm like, come on now. Here we go.
But the actual finish, it's going over my head right now. But
I can't think of how he won the match, but whatever.
Yeah, so much action towards the end. I completely forgot myself. It was, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I always found it curious how like the cruiserweights in any of the cruiserweights could do like a power bomb, and it wouldn't be the finish. Psycho Sid power bomb done, Diesel power bomb done. But these guys would do it, and it's like, oh, it's a near fall. It's like, what? Oh, it's because they're lighter. Okay, sure, why not? Different psychology.
Well, we all know that the light heavyweight division never blew up, like you said, like the WCW cruiserweight division. Do you think that's because Vince McMahon didn't see any value in the light heavyweights?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me give you the list of the WWF light heavyweight champions that ran from the time it started in '97 to 2001 when they canceled it. They basically retired the title. Taka Michinoku,
Mm-hmm.
Christian, and pay attention
Ooh.
to this one because this is the most important one of them all. Gilbert,
I remember
S.A.
that.
Oh my
Rios,
God.
Dean Malenko, Scotty Tuhati, Malenko again, Crash Holly, Jerry Lynn, Jeff Hardy, X-Pac, Tajiri, and then X-Pac again. That's your list of WWF light heavyweight champions.
Damn, Jeff Hardy was the light heavyweight champion?
Yep, I remember that.
I don't remember that.
It was
Yeah.
very brief.
And then it turned into cruiserweights in 2003. And John's girl, Jackie's on there.
Miss Texas, baby.
Texas Hold'em.
Indeed. So, if that
Well, for
doesn't give
me-
you an indication,
Yeah.
So,
They
I
don't
mean,
care
you didn't like
about
Christian
the
as
light heavyweights.
champion.
I don't like that damn cloth shirt he had on.
Oh yeah, I know you don't like
T-shirt.
vampires. You're more like Blade.
More like Blade and what's that movie?
Blade.
No.
Yeah.
With what's that?
Man, what movie was that guy in?
what was the new one?
The tip of my tongue.
oh, Deadpool,
Wolverine.
Deadpool
and Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Deadpool, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Blade like that, washed up.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Really, Dom?
Washed.
God damn it.
What's that movie where they went Back to the Future?
Back to the Future.
Nah, don't sound right.
Twin Pines goes to One Pine.
Lord.
No, but the light heavyweight division, they would throw Taka Michinoku was their star, and in 1998, at least they were still trying. They gave him the Monster of the Month, and at the WrestleMania in 14 in Boston, they gave him Aguila. I'm like, who the hell? Where did he come from? He turned into S.A. Rios.
Yeah.
Wait,
And then
Aguila. Is that the same guy that's doing the iguana thing?
no, and he's 20 years older.
I said Rios.
And he would face a guy,
Chulo.
I think at the King of the Ring, maybe, or somewhere in the summertime. El Pantera. It's like, who? So it was just Monster of the Month for our hero in the the light heavyweight division, Taka Michinoku.
So
They
they basically
put him
tried
with
to
the
do the
headbangers
Hogan
at one
thing.
point.
And their weight limit was long. It was bigger. It was like 220, so they could allow Brian Christopher to be a part of it.
But yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. I mean, you literally have a case of where WWE was the second. They were the second ones in on the fad. WCW had the cruiserweights and WCW had the cruiserweights. WWF tried to jump in after the fact instead of kind of seeing it from the jump. They had time before the cruiserweight division was even established. They had what 6 months to almost a year to really try to come in and jump in with their own cruiserweights, and they waited till WCW had an established product to try to jump in, and it just did not work. It didn't work, and I mean, even having Dean Malenko at that time, they had the Radicals, in WWE, but at that point, Benoit was ticketed for main event. Perry Saturn and Eddie Guerrero didn't classify as light heavyweights. So the only guy you really had that could do it would be Dean Malenko, and he was literally the dry eye of the group. He was the one that people least got excited about. But he's the guy that ends up representing the light heavyweights.
It was just a cursed idea from the beginning, and WWF, hey, they did other things better, so there you go.
Yeah.
This match did not matter.
I got to disagree. It was a great match. It did matter. Unfortunately, it didn't matter in the annals of history for the light heavyweight division. But in terms of keeping the excitement and keeping the crowd going, it does matter.
And I think it only matters in the case of making Taka Michinoku a household name within WWE, because that was his debut match, and it was really able to put a show on in that match, and ultimately he's the horse they tied their hopes to get the light heavyweight division going, and it would have worked if they were able to get some other true light heavyweights and not just people that they made up. And because they were under 225, we'll just throw them in there.
Yeah, they messed up. They missed the boat because Eric got a hold of all the luchadors from AAA or wherever from, and that was it.
You mean Juventud, Psychosis, all of these guys were
pretty much household names back in Mexico. So they were following them, and then boom. Oh.
Yep.
And you got to think about it. TV in Japan compared to Mexico is a little bit different. They're probably, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now for them compared to 9, 10 o'clock, maybe an hour or two difference. It makes a huge difference when you're trying to follow somebody's career, especially if they're in the Americas.
Right.
So that would hurt anybody, especially around that time. You got to think about it. Kids, we didn't have streaming. The internet wasn't the way it is now. So you really had to let me pop this in. What is this? Record.
Hope you got a newspaper, and hope it's coming on Japanese TV.
Dave Meltzer tell you what's going on. He loves Japanese wrestling.
Oh yeah, him and his 10-star system. Yeah, sure.
And if you gave him $2, he'll never mind.
What? What?
He'll give you 2 more stars for being in Tokyo.
Strap, did this match matter for you?
I'd have to say it mattered. I feel a little biased saying it, but I feel like it does matter because it wasn't a throwaway match. It's not like, I mean, it was one of 4 matches on the show, and did it underdeliver? It did not underdeliver. It totally earned its spot on the card, and it didn't suck. It was a very good match, so I would have to say it does matter.
All right. Well, you all say it does matter, but I feel like it was a decent match, but I feel like it was overshadowed with the Mankind and Hunter Hearst Helmsley match. Because after this, they even showed these guys fighting in the parking lot, and Triple H got a bloody eye. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty much, but that was pretty much like the theme of the whole first half to 3/4 of the show was them fighting through whatever, which strategic wise was great to keep their feud. Keep their feud blowing up and escalating, because it just seemed like you couldn't stop them. I mean, especially Mankind. Mankind had China every so often, wrapping him up and allowing Triple H to take hits, and he would still get away and still manage to go beat on Triple H more. So, I mean, it definitely helped Mankind in that regard, because it was just like he didn't stay down at all. Every time China got involved and he took a couple of shots, he was able to slip out and keep connecting with Triple H, to the point where Triple H got bloody and Mankind did not. So,
yeah, I think that was their version of saying, "Here you go, Mick. This is your comeback right now. I know you can't really touch China, but all right, you can bloody up good old Big Nose."
Good old Big Nose.
All right. Well, our next match is for the WWF Championship. We have Vader with Paul Bearer in his corner, and he's taking on the Undertaker. The Undertaker is your champion at this time. And my God, that Canadian crowd, it was something special, because I never heard the crowd so loud for the Undertaker like that. When he raised his arms, boom! Vader, he was shook.
Yep.
Shook Knight.
Now, can you imagine the fact that was supposed to be Ahmed Johnson?
What? Vader?
Yeah. He was supposed to be going against Ahmed at that time.
Ahmed Johnson got hurt, and that's why Vader got slotted in.
Should have worn more knee pads. He'd been good.
The one day he didn't. Yeah.
Do you think WD would have pulled the trigger with how hot Ahmed was at that time? Was he hot at that time? There was a point where he was just scorching hot.
Yeah, it was right before. Shit. It was right before. Yeah, it was right before he went nation. It was right before he went nation. It was like his first couple of months there, he was really just like on fire. And then I turned around one day, he was part of the nation. I'm like,
why? Yeah, that made no sense.
I'm like, he spent all this time fighting the nation, and now it's like, oh, you can't beat him, join him? What? That's what we doing here?
They had a good healthcare package.
Yeah.
This day and age, I'll take one.
It's called unfuckwittable. Don't fuck with Ron Simmons. That's what. All right.
You learn the hard way.
Join the nation and you get dental. All right.
You don't join the
Damn.
nation, you don't have teeth.
Sure. That's anti-healthcare, man. Oof.
Well, they're in Canada, so he put it. Never mind. Gotta be a citizen.
Hey, babe. How you get this to work over here? John, I told you. Check out the archives. Ahmed Johnson, the former guest on the It Doesn't Matter
See,
podcast.
Ahmed Johnson, a fellow man with a 3X size head. His hat's too damn small.
The whole damn show.
So I don't wear hats. Unless it's the winter time and I'm wearing the It Doesn't Matter podcast beanie.
Yes.
Available in stores eventually.
One day.
At some point in the future, not necessarily the near future.
AmericanPharaohApparel.com.
9-5. All right. So watching this match, and I said this plenty of times after we talked about Vader, I hate seeing that man take like big bumps, especially him getting off his feet like that. Undertaker with one clothesline and Vader just dropping down like that. Like, you gotta sell, bro. Like Hulk up. Like, come on, man. Undertaker was ragdolling Vader, man. Like, how big are you? Like 400 pounds, and he's scooping you like that for a tombstone like that with no problem?
Yeah, he
It was a physical match. I just did not like seeing Vader like that, man.
That choke slam off the ropes, it was crazy because it was like, man, he had him. I'm like, oh, I would see how this go, and then he like put like an extra foot on it. I'm like, wait, what?
You about to last ride him? It's like, damn. Oh my god! Like, why Vader?
Vader
like,
was
like that in
Vader
WCW.
was not dead weight. Let's just put it like that. Vader was not dead weight, not at all.
This man took 2 choke slams and kicked out of both of them. But like, I don't know, man. They didn't book Vader strong,
and he tried to reverse a tombstone and couldn't.
Yeah,
he just fell.
Hey, Roman Reigns can't do it. Vader can't do it either.
Nope.
Vader with a low blow, Undertaker with a low blow. The ref just let it go.
I mean, you could tell the story. Yeah.
He was like, the ref saw that. Why did he let that go? And then when Taker did, he was like, oh, guess he's letting it go. No fucking duh.
Like I said, you could argue that Vader's character, as he is a large wrestler, but his character is a bully. So he got to bully people who are smaller than him. He could bully Ric Flair and Sting, but when he came face to face with a guy his own size like Hulk Hogan in WCW, oh, I met my match, or versus Psycho Sid, oh, another guy I can go eye to eye with, and the Undertaker, same thing, just a big, tall, strong guy. It's like shit. So you could angle it that way and say, like, when the bully meets his own match, they're no longer a bully. And, you could argue that, but I don't think that's how he was booked. We're just trying to change history a little bit to make us feel better.
Yeah, I mean, he had his moments where he just kept running into Undertaker. He kept running into Taker and kept, like, knocking him off his feet. He's just like, and all of a sudden, he's running into Taker and knocking him down. It's like, okay, you can only do that so many times. Like, you can only do that so many times, and then eventually that's just not going to work anymore.
I mean, and trying to find a good Vader match in his WWF career, it's very hard. But, at the end of this match, a lot of times you could be very disappointed in how things turned out. And, he took a lot of bumps and things like that. But I thought this is one of – it'd be a very short VHS tape. If you put Vader's best matches, WWF matches on a VHS tape, this would be on him, I would think. And it's not a great match, but by Vader WWF standards, it's one of his best. And I mean, aside from a few botched spots, I thought it was a pretty good match. And
or him trying to ramp himself up so hard to do the splash that he was going to jump out the building.
Yeah. It's Vader time.
Oh, man.
He's sitting there. He's ramping up. Taker done got up, went and got a drink, came back. Paul Bearer's looking at him like he's been standing for like 10 minutes, and he's still like, dude, come on.
Have you seen the clip of him just like jumping on a trampoline? You know, it's obviously him before he was filming a promo and he was just getting ready, but he's just jumping on a trampoline. And when you think about it, you're like, he's just jumping on a trampoline. This is really weird. You know? Ooh. Good times.
Oh, man. So
I gotta agree with you on that though. Facts. Strap. Because I was thinking, I'm like, maybe Dom and BDC are a little too nostalgia with Vader from their WCW days. They've seen the monster, but like you said, he's going against a big bully like Taker, where same guy that can match his strength and speed. You're not gonna be able to bully someone like that. So it's a lot different. So I kind of saw the match a little bit different. I was okay with some of the moves that went on, but at the same time, a couple of the other stuff, I was like, it doesn't feel like he's that mastodon anymore. At least not here.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a guy that's gonna feed for him, not him feeding for somebody else. He's not a chicken shit heel. He's really a bully, and unfortunately, he didn't have anybody to bully.
Yeah, you can't bully people bigger than you and stronger than you.
You know, if you want to revisit that, you know, what would have happened if Ahmed Johnson did complete his storyline here? Like, what would have happened? I mean, would Bret Hart and Undertaker still be the match at SummerSlam? Would Undertaker still drop it to Bret Hart at SummerSlam? I don't know. It seemed like a really hot angle. Ahmed Johnson just turning heel to join the Nation of Domination, to wrestle the Undertaker for the title. I don't know. It feels like they might have had a plan going in, and when Ahmed got hurt, there was like literally no one that could take that spot. Mm-hmm. So they had to just wipe the slate clean and just go with a whole brand new storyline. And that's what they did.
So with that in mind, how does Kane fit in all of this? Because I mean, this Vader and Paul Bearer being together is what eventually brings us Kane. So if Ahmed Johnson is a mistake, like Vader's kind of slotted in because Ahmed Johnson gets hurt, you know, you developed a whole storyline with a whole different character, which he himself has had a Hall of Fame career. So does that storyline still happen, but it's just coming in a different way? Like maybe, just maybe, instead of you know, him being in a match straight up with Vader, say he's in the match with Ahmed Johnson, and maybe Vader interferes, and that's how Paul Bearer brings out the storyline with Kane. And like, how does that happen? Because literally, like I said, Kane comes out of this storyline.
Kane was coming out of the storyline regardless. They already implanted the seeds about a month or two ago. Mm-hmm. Who his opponent would have been, maybe it would have changed. Maybe it wouldn't have been Shawn. Maybe it would have been somebody else. Mm-hmm. Maybe Vader would have been in that Hell in a Cell first, which I'm kind of glad it didn't happen.
Geez, no. Oh no.
Yeah. The right guys for the first Hell in a Cell were perfect, match made in heaven, and the debut of Kane was just perfect. Kane coming in, he scared the living crap out of me doing what he did. I was like,
Kane.
Taker already was scary when he first came in, but Kane was next level. Like, oh my god, this guy is huge.
I remember when Kane. Yeah, I remember when Kane took a damn wrench to Vader's eye.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I mean, when you have somebody like Taker who scares almost everybody, and then you have a guy that comes in and scares Taker, that's saying something. That's saying something.
That's the Baba Yaga.
Because early Kane scared everybody.
You know what's scarier than Kane's actual debut? If he debuted as a black militant member of the Nation of Domination.
Lord.
We matter.
I can't stand you. I can't stand you.
You better have this as a clip, Dom.
That's a big clip. That is
That
a
better
clip.
be a freaking
That is a
clip.
clip.
I just marked it.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, does this match matter?
Oh,
Undertaker and Vader.
I gotta say no, unfortunately. It was decent enough, but the storyline didn't follow through with it, and it just
yeah.
I wouldn't say botches, just too much. Too much. Too much. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Too much.
And you know, I love Taker. So I will almost always give him benefit of the doubt, but there's nothing to benefit here. The storyline goes nowhere with this match.
Yeah.
It goes absolutely nowhere. He just beat up Vader in a match, and that was it. At this point, like you said, seeds about him being a murderer was being thrown at him the entire match, and it meant nothing because he ended up winning the match anyway. And it did nothing for the storyline at all. So yeah, it didn't matter.
But people keep forgetting the only reason he brings up the name Kane because originally Taker started as Kane the Undertaker.
Yep.
As a way to honor his brother, even though they never say that in the beginning. Well, his actual debut.
Yeah.
Strap.
Must be in a generous mood. I just probably a very nostalgic, happy mood because I will say it does matter for me. It's just part of this show, this pay-per-view. And even though there's a lot of funky storylines coming in and out of this match, I liked it. I just liked it. So for me, it does matter to me.
Okay.
Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. Like I said, I don't like how Vader was portrayed in this match. Well, I don't like how he was portrayed in the WWF.
Yeah.
So
his entire run was suspect.
Yeah, Undertaker wins with the tombstone, but I'm not sure if we ever do a Vader run in WWF. So, Strap, it's your time. Tell us about Vader's run in WWF.
Well, he got fired from WCW right before the debut of Nitro, right before Fall Brawl 1995. Sad times, man. But he was a big catch, a big signing for Vince McMahon, and he debuted at the 1996 Royal Rumble. He made an impressive debut. And then the next night in Raw, like I said, very infamous times for me because it's right when I started watching, and he he assaulted Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon just chops in the fight. But Vader wasn't ready yet. He needed shoulder surgery, so he was still out for a while. His debut match was with Savio Vega, but his pay-per-view debut, a second pay-per-view debut match at WrestleMania 12 in the opening 6-man tag, and he was supposed to be the new guy, because Diesel and Razor left and things like that. So he was a new contender for Shawn Michaels. He was supposed to win the world title. Shawn Michaels is a little bitch. So he didn't want to drop the title. If you remember the December In Your House called It's Time. Whose time is it? Vader time. But
time.
They changed it around. So Vader was supposed to be WWF champion. And, he started teaming with, he hooked up with Paul Bearer, started teaming with Mankind. They had that tag team championship match at WrestleMania 13. And even at this time in July 97, he was on the way down the card, but he was still there as a tough guy. He fought Ken Shamrock at the May pay-per-view. And, his next notable thing would be, getting hit with a wrench by Kane and then getting hit with a hammer by Goldust.
I highly recommend people to go back to that match.
He's having
Ken versus Vader.
Yeah, that would be another one you could put on his list, even though he.
What you say, Ken and Vader?
Ken Shamrock and Vader.
Ken was scooping him like nothing.
But
like nothing, man.
Those bombs they were throwing, they were not working punches. Yeah. That was all legit.
But
Ken came with him, was like, you could throw what you got. I can take it. And he took it. God damn, he took it.
Yeah, Dom, I highly recommend go back and watching that.
Took it.
We'll revisit that next May.
Yeah.
As one of the choices that you can choose.
For
his last
wrestling that made us.
his last feud would really be with Kane again, and he would lose his confidence and get out of the company, go to Japan, and he would find his smile again in Japan. It's a DVD you could find at highspots.com, and you can follow Vader's career over in Japan after his WWF run, and it would redeem it a little bit. He would do a better job there. Or you can also subscribe at highspots.tv. But that was his WWF run. He was a very memorable character in WCW and the WWF, but he just wasn't booked the same way, and unfortunately, his career just petered out in the WWF.
Boy meets world.
Good times.
All right. Well, it's main event time. We are in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It's time for the Hart Foundation to go against Team USA. Howard Finkel, he's in the ring. No Michael Buffer. Howard Finkel.
Complete with
And
cowboy hat.
He announces 3 chicks singing the Canadian national anthem. Is that the Dixie Chicks?
No.
God, no.
Right.
I hope not.
Absolutely not.
They turn heel, too.
Canada was rocking, boy. I tell you that. They were rocking. That crowd was live.
Yeah.
And Finkel announces some random jabron. And then he announces Stu and Helen Hart, the patriarch, Christian, and Nick Wayne, and all them other people. And
Mama Martha.
Helen, all that. Oh, man. So our main event is a 10-man tag. We have Stone Cold Steve Austin, Goldust, Ken Shamrock, and the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, taking on the Hart Foundation of Brian Pillman, the Loose Cannon, Owen Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, and the Hitman Bret Hart. Such a random pairing for Team USA, but I gotta ask you about this. So they were showing, the video promo for this. They showed DOA. You seen Crush on the bikes taking out the Nation. Then you seen the Nation and Los Boricuas. Then you see Stone Cold. Where the hell did all this come through with this match right here? Like, what happened? I seen the promo, but what did I miss here? Everybody got taken out.
About that one.
I don't know when. I think it happened later, so maybe this is probably totally irrelevant. Excuse me.
It was before the match. They showed the video package. Like,
but later on, I mean, back in that time, it was a great time. Again, if you want to relive the Monday Night Wars, start in 1997, please. And they would literally go to Canada and the United States every other week, and it was such a dynamic that you can't repeat it today almost. So Bret, obviously Stone Cold, and whoever would be on his team are the faces, and the Hart Foundation are the heels in America. They would go to Canada one week, and it would just flip. And as a viewer, you may or may not know what's going on. But it was just amazing television to watch. But one episode, I think they were in Texas, and the Hart Foundation were in the ring. I could be wrong. This is just from memory, but Stone Cold comes out and his music is playing like New Jack and ECW, and I think Ken Shamrock comes out, and while Stone Cold's music is playing, like to show who's on his team, I think Shawn Michaels came out. I'm not sure. All I remember is that Psycho Sid came out, and he was part of that team. And it's kind of like, yeah, Sid, all right, and he disappeared. He's gone. It's like, he's here. He's part of Stone Cold's USA team. Yeah.
What time?
Gone.
The year was it?
It's July '97.
Softball.
So, yeah.
Softball season.
Hey, man. I mean, he just showed up in the beginning and he disappeared. He didn't come back for the rest of the show.
The funny thing is, though, that I looked up a bunch of people saying that was real. Like, he legit took summers off to play softball.
When you're a former WWF champion in the 90s, you can take off anytime you want. Sid did that for softball. Stone Cold did that for deer hunting season. So there you go.
He did. I forgot about that.
All right. Well, like I said, it was such a random pairing for this Team USA team right here. But when the glass shattered and the rattlesnake came out, he came out the house talking shit.
Yeah,
He was
course.
on one tonight. He
Of
was
course.
definitely on one tonight.
he was
And the
definitely on
Hart
that BMF
Foundation,
shit.
they all had their they had separate interests. And it was very interesting because the first person that made an interest was the loose cannon, Brian Pillman. And you thought the baby faces had a good pop. Now when Pillman came out,
Yep.
oh yeah.
Especially
Oh,
he
yeah,
was working
like-
the crowd.
You've never heard Pillman get an ovation like that before.
No.
Especially when he was working the crowd. He was.
Oh,
he
yeah.
Was, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then next one was Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Mhm.
I didn't know he had a theme song. Like seriously.
I thought so too. Like, wait,
I-
what?
And I
Did they
remember
ever do?
watching this back in the day, but yeah, like wow, like okay. He had his own entrance. It was pretty cool. And then of course you hear the British Bulldog, and he's coming out with Miss Calgary, his wife, Diana Smith. He's the European champion at the time, and the place, they're loud. They're loud. And all these guys just standing in front of the house, just waiting in the aisleway, waiting for everybody to come out. After this, you hear
King
the
of
Rocket
Hearts.
Owen Hart's music come off.
Yep.
You have the Intercontinental title. Don't forget, he's a 2-time Slammy Award winner.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have been the best Hart of all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might have been the greatest out of all of them.
Like he had the nickname King of Hearts, and that is probably the truth of it all. Period.
Sad. His career was taken too short.
Yep.
But yeah, get to it, Dom.
And then while they're waiting for the last one, they're waiting. The fans are hot. Then you hear that first note of Bret hitting me hard. That place blew off the roof. Oh my god. My god.
Yep.
Like I said, they all had separate interests, and then once Bret came out, they all walked down to the ring, and they did what they did. They posed, and then Bret took his glasses and he gave it to his mom. I forgot what King said, had me cracking up, but it was pretty funny. And then JR fired back.
I can't with King because King when it comes to the Hearts, man, he just oh man.
We gave Martha the beta blockers.
Yeah, well, after this, they all get in the ring and they having to stare off Stone Cold. He's right in Bret's face, just talking that shit. And then it goes down.
Yep.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh God. Platino, get into it.
Yeah, man, this is one of those matches that you just can't control it, man. The crowd was so into it. These guys just had it. Austin and Bret, they just doesn't matter what you put them in, man. You're gonna get like 5-star effort and 5-star matches every single day of the week. It is just incredible what these guys can do. But you also got Dustin in there working with geez, who do you work with? I think he worked with Bulldog a little bit there too.
He worked with Bulldog. He worked with Owen Hart.
Yeah.
And I think the Road Warriors, they just got whoever they could throw hands on. They just, especially Hawk. Hawk was going around cheap shotting everybody.
I noticed that too.
He didn't care. He was cheap shotting everybody.
But it seemed like when they were doing it during this match, they were more conscientious of where the referee was. So the referee's back would be turned more when they would do like a little heelish move. So that way they're like, all right, you're covering it up. Bret's in here. He's like, hey, know what you're doing. Work the right way. I know we're going to attitude, but still follow tradition.
Yeah. And it's just it's just a treat and a shame all in one. It's a treat to see Owen Hart work in the ring. Like you forget it's been 20 years. You forget just how solid he is in the ring until you get a match and you get to see him work. And especially, getting to see him work with one guy, cool. But getting to see him work with a bunch of guys and seeing how he adapts to all of them and handles his business in the ring, it's just, it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see him retire that we didn't get to see him at the twilight of his career, that we lost him when we did.
Does he make a difference if he's alive to help the Radicals and Jericho propel them to where they at, if not more?
I think.
Owen?
Does he help them propel them to greater standards or greater heights? I know Dom at that point was like 98. His trajectory was dropping massively. But with that resurgence of the Radicals, Jericho, and all that, that's a whole new wave of guys that he hasn't wrestled or had in-ring matches with, that maybe Vince would be like, oh,
but it
Owen's
depends.
looking kind of good now again.
It depends.
Let's run with it.
It depends, because the question is why is he dropping? Is he dropping because of technique? Not at all. No. He's not dropping because of skill drop. He's not dropping because of that at all. Is he dropping as a punishment to Brett? As a punishment in that regard, if that's the reason why he's dropping, right? If that's the reason why he's dropping, it don't care if God came in there and wrestled, he would still be getting punished. It wouldn't matter. That, unfortunately, that's the truth of the matter, is he was being punished for Brett, so it doesn't matter who you bring in. He was still getting
a chance.
He was still getting punished for Brett, but he's who he is, man. I mean, that's where he got his name. So, you know, he kind of wrote it out. He was willing to do whatever they wanted him to do, and you know, that type of loyalty in his case, it didn't get reciprocated. They really didn't.
And I seen recently that Kurt Angle, he said something that whoever has the match of him and Owen, please post it. He wants people to see it. It's gonna be like camera footage, but at that time, but I'll definitely check that out.
Oh, absolutely.
Rookie Kurt Angle versus Owen Hart.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wait like 20 years for WWE Vault on YouTube.
They said they don't have it.
No, it's got to be a fan who's probably recording it during a live show. And yeah, if you're a fan, listen to us and is a fan of WWE. Even if you're not a fan of WWE, be a fan of Kurt and Owen. Show that out there
match
for us.
Yeah.
I was like, who's this jabron? I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah, put that match out there for us to see, because I'm sure it's a damn classic. Even
if Kurt is remembering that match, it says that he must have had a nice barn burner with him.
Right.
Yes. All right. Well, at this time, Stone Cold, he was the man for Team USA and the top guy in the USA, but in Canada, he's one of the most hated men in the building. And at this time, everybody had their moment to shine. Pillman being that crazy loose cannon that he is, Owen being that underdog, he went to the back. Bulldog showing his strength, his power. Even Animal and the Anvil, they was testing strength, and it was pretty interesting to see at that time. You know, Brett's good. Brett doing his thing, and yeah, Platinum's back in the building. He ain't like me talking about the Anvil. I see how it is. But all right, but massive brawl broke outside the ring. Stone Cold fighting everybody. He don't care who you are. If you have the last name Hart, he's swinging on you. And these other Harts jumped over the top, over the barricade, and they swinging on him and whatnot.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Man, it was
Bruce. Bruce took a swing and went down to his knees. I was like, dude, you didn't even get hit. That was impressive. It
was Smith. It was Bruce. Yeah, it was a few.
Yeah,
I can't think.
I do have to say there was one lapse that I saw that was kind of comical. There was a point where it was after Owen Hart got his legs, his knee cracked up, and they took him out, and it was a 5-on-4 advantage. And before, it was right when Bret Hart grabbed Stone Cold's leg and pulled him into the corner and started to work him over. Well, Stone Cold, I don't even remember who was in the ring with him, but Stone Cold was laying into him. Dude was on the ground. He was kicking the shit out of him. And Bret Hart was sitting on the ropes just watching. I'm like, dude, you're watching him get his ass kicked. You're just sitting there. You're just like waiting for him to finish. I don't know what you're doing. And then, Stone Cold reaches down to try to grab his hair. It might have been it might have been Brian Pillman, because I'm just remembering he had long hair, so he was going after Brian Pillman, trying to get him off the ground, and then Hitman grabs his leg and pulls him into the corner and proceeds to work on his leg like he did Owen, and then he gets into that figure 4 on the ring post, which I was like, that whole segment took way too long. Like, you got 4 other guys over there, 3 or 4 other guys over there. Any given time, they could come over there and like punch Hitman and at least knock him off and stop him from hurting Stone Cold. But no sooner did I say that, he gets him in that figure 4. Hawk came through and stomped him right on his head. He stomped him right on his head and then kicked the shit out of him and then walked away. It's like, he just literally like left him like Beetle Bailey. This shit was crazy. He left him mangled in the corner. Like I said, Hawk didn't care who it was. He was jumping everybody that match. Everybody.
That could probably answer the question. It's like, if you can pick 5 guy or 1 guy from this team in a fight, a real fight, who would you pick?
Hawk.
Michael Heckstrand, Hawk.
Yeah.
Because that dude did not care.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, this match was all over the place. This is the true definition of a Canadian Stampede, because that's exactly what we got.
Yep.
And the Hart Foundation, they got the win. Even after the match is over, Stone Cold, he's still trying to attack these motherfuckers.
Yo.
It's a good time.
My man went in there 1-on-7 with a chair. He didn't.
Yeah. He don't
What?
care.
I gotta give
You
him
don't
props for
care.
that. And I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up, damn it! Fucking DOA.
Oh, Lord.
Can't ever win with this shit.
Yeah, so this match definitely matters. The whole show
yeah.
is based off this match right here.
Yep.
And overall, we had, 4 matches?
Yeah. 4
It
matches.
matters. This show definitely does matter.
Mm-hmm.
Just this alone right here. This and Mankind alone for me.
Yep.
Plot to know.
This the pay per view overall, it matters to me.
Strap.
It definitely does matter. The Canadian Stampede for sure. Check it out.
Yes. And I know BDC, it definitely does
No doubt
matter.
about it.
All right, but the final question of the night. You know, we're in July right here. Survivor Series is approaching. If the Montreal Screwjob didn't take place, will the Hart Foundation be the most dominant heel faction in 1998 in the WWF? Because we see DX. DX is heating up. Still got the Nation. You got the Bikers. You got the Boliquas.
I think Owen Hart's star power means a lot, but I don't think it's enough to make them a top-ranked group. Because Bret Hart is still gone, regardless of the Screwjob. He's still gone. He's still headed to WCW. So you're left with Hart, you're left with Pillman, you're left with Neidhart, and you're left with the British Bulldog. And despite the fact that Owen Hart was absolutely a rising star and was definitely ready to take over Bret Hart's spot, the other 3 are just not there enough to make them a formidable faction versus a DX or versus the Nation at that point, I don't think.
I kind of gotta agree with you on that. Just because Vince was moving towards the youth movement, and unfortunately, all these other guys, minus Owen, were pretty much at this point. They weren't like wrestlers nowadays. They're on the back burner. They already had a long part of their career already established in WWE or WWF. Right. So Vince is probably looking at them like, I'd rather get rid of them before they're not useful to me than wait too long and hold on to relics that I can't do anything with. So I gotta agree with you. Maybe they may be good, but the most dominant heel faction, I think it still goes to DX and maybe the Nation.
Yeah, I think one of the things you have to have when you have a faction like that, you have to have all of the guys in the group have to be able to hold some type of gold on their own or with somebody. And bottom line is Neidhart's leaving. Neidhart's partner's leaving. So Neidhart, who's been a perennial tag team partner, would then have to rely on Owen Hart to be your tag team partner. No, Owen Hart's the star of that group. So he's ticketed for main event status. British Bulldog, yeah, you can have British Bulldog, but then where does that leave where does that leave Pillman? Because Pillman's not really all that established in WWE. So maybe
You can make him the mouthpiece.
You make him the mouthpiece, but what good is a mouthpiece when you've got other factions where every member of that group could be a champion on their own?
Yeah.
And I love Brian Pillman as a loose cannon. I love that version of him. Like maybe
Strap, what do you think?
That maybe
yeah, I stopped. I was gonna say maybe if Rick Rude had stayed, maybe then you have your mouthpiece, and then those four maybe go somewhere a little further. But I just don't see it.
Rude didn't even talk for DX.
No, he didn't.
He was just there in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy thing is, Rude hated the Attitude Era.
Absolutely.
That's the crazy thing is.
it's too extreme for him.
Yeah, look what he did to Francine.
The way you phrased the question, it just brought up like so many different things because, you know, you can say like, what if Bret Hart didn't go to WCW? It's like that wasn't the question, you know, because Bret Hart going to WCW was going to happen regardless of the Montreal Screwjob.
Yep.
Right.
Brian Pillman was dead regardless of the Montreal Screwjob. So who do you have left? And I'm just thinking, I'm like, you know, I never really thought of it in that specific way. The only thing that would have really changed, I think, is like what happens to the Hart Foundation if there was no Montreal Screwjob? There wouldn't be a Hart Foundation. It would just be Owen, and it would just be the Bulldog. Jim Neidhart would just disappear like he does. He doesn't matter. So where would the Bulldog go? I just don't think he could ever approach the main event scene like he had been a part of. And as for Owen, I don't, you know, it's hard to read books, so many things, because so many things are attached. And it's such a different company in 1998. But yeah, no, I don't think either the Bulldog or Owen would have made it to the main event level again. They might be, you know, they're obviously a big name and a good hand to go back to often, but I just don't think anything great, you know, would have happened if the Montreal Screwjob didn't happen. I think they'd be fine and healthy and alive still. But I don't think they would have changed the main event scene in the WWF in the Attitude Era at all.
All right, well, it's a good way to close the show. Definitely, guys, go back and relive In Your House 16, Canadian Stampede. And this does it for the month of July. Next month, we at August is SummerSlam season, but we're not kicking off with SummerSlam because I'm kicking it off and we're going some WCW route. We're going to do a show I've never seen before. And I'm looking forward to see because after we did the Bash, I can't wait to see this. We are going to take it back to New Blood Rising.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at everybody's reaction. WCW New Blood Rising. I'm about to go over the card right quick, and I can't wait to see y'all reaction to this.
And it's also
Here
in Canada.
We go.
Is it?
In our opening match, we have a gold record ladder match.
What?
We have a gold record ladder match. We have 3 count. Evan Courageous, Shannon Moore, and Shane Helms with Tank Abbott taking on the Young Dragons, Kaz Hayashi, Jamie San, and Yu Yang.
You know what? I think I might have seen this pay-per-view just sneaking through.
I just had flashbacks of Tank Abbott dancing. Thanks, dude.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Thank you.
There we go. In our next match,
man, that's like saying here's your 6-man Kalisto, Sin Cara, and George St. Pierre. I don't know.
Hey.
What?
Leave George St. Pierre out of this.
Our next match, we have Ernest the Cat Miller taking on the Great Muta.
Oh boy, because the Young Dragons found their mentor.
Okay, yes.
Oh.
Now it all makes sense.
I just
Maybe.
maybe.
Well, I never seen this, so I'm looking forward to watching this.
Wow.
Our next match, my guy, he just got his leg amputated. Shout out to Buff Bagwell.
Hope you're doing better, brother.
Hope you're doing better. Former guest of the IDM pod. But we got Judy Bagwell in a forklift match.
Why?
Buff Bagwell is taking on Chris Canyon.
This might end up being a good match, though. That's the crazy thing.
It being 6 minutes, I don't know about that.
Hey, man.
All right, our next match is a Four Corners match for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. And this has the Filthy Animals as your special guest referee. We have Chronic, Brian Adams, and Brian Clark taking on the Perfect Event of Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo, taking on Sean O'Hare and Mark Jindrak, and taking on the Misfits in Action, General Erection, and Corporal Cajun. Which one's Cajun again? Lenny Lane? Or what's his name?
Lash LaRue.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Sean O'Hare.
Oh, yeah.
Sean O'Hare.
Yep.
Sean fucking O'Hare.
I know something crazy going to happen to that.
Well, our next match, we have a strap match. We have Billy Kidman taking on Shane Douglas with Torrie Wilson.
FUB.
Oh, man. After this, we have a mud rip off the clothes match.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Major Guns taking on Miss Hancock.
Well, I don't even know what we're here for.
Well, we know. Well, I know how that match is going to end.
We all came here to see. Never mind.
Slop jalops.
All right. After this, we have Sting taking on the Demon.
Not Vampiro?
No, the Demon.
Why? His feud is with Vampiro, not the Demon.
Did Vampiro beat the Demon so bad that he decided to join Vampiro? Was this if he can't beat him, he joined him?
What the fuck?
All right, our next match, we have a Canadian rules match for the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship with Jacques Rougeau as the special guest referee. Oh, man. We have Lance Storm taking on Mike Awesome.
Oh, jeez.
What are the rules of the Canadians?
Oh, man.
I'm guessing the Canadians can do whatever they want while the Americans can't.
I don't know, but we got another tag team match for the WCW tag titles.
Again?
The Dark Carnival, Vampiro and Great Muta taking on Chronic.
So now we just out here reusing talent. Great.
Oh, now we know who won.
And then we got a three-way dance. Kevin Nash taking on Goldberg and Scott Steiner.
Wait.
Gotti, watch my back. No. All right.
How did this become a triple?
Come on, man, get in the game. My game's
only been
over
a month.
here.
A month
It's
before
only been a month later.
Goldberg.
It's only been a month later. That's it. Actually, it hasn't even been a month. Maybe like 3 weeks.
You won't believe.
Whatever.
I'm not looking forward to
And
this.
your main event for the WCW Heavyweight Championship, we have Booker T defending his title against Jeff Jarrett.
Again?
Oh, man.
Ain't he the same opponent?
Please tell me that's not the gold miners glove match.
Nah, just a regular match.
Oh.
WCW New Blood Rising. Never seen it before. Looking forward to see it. There's going to be a lot of
There's
laughs.
gonna be
You're
some
gonna
new blood rising, all right. My blood pressure.
You gonna call Dan?
My blood pressure is about to go through the roof. Yes,
You call ringside?
Don't torture him.
Yeah, he's still blaming John.
It wasn't my fault.
Well,
yeah.
the show is all our faults. Well, that's going to do it for tonight. WWF In Your House, Canadian Stampede, when the Hart Foundation ran the whole damn show. The crowd went crazy.
Oh.
And Stone Cold brought that smoke.
Before we end it, have you ever seen a crowd make the camera shake like that?
No.
Yes, if you played WWE 2K, they used to press the button back in the day, and
That's
the crowd could shake.
I'm talking about Madden or 2K
That too.
in college.
Whatever. All right.
What is that?
What the hell? What the hell is that?
This
What
was
is
supposed to
that?
be the
What the
team.
hell?
That,
That is random as shit.
you see,
Wait.
here's the Patriot.
Where did the Patriot
Del
come from?
Wilkes. Wow.
Shawn Michaels, Ken Shamrock, and Sid just came from church.
Why is Sid posing like he's taking a picture like Finn Balor?
Oh, my
He's a demon.
Lord.
He's a demon.
Well, wait a minute. So how did that team turn into?
I think this might have been after Canadian Stampede, actually.
Oh, my
So
Lord.
this is what I was referring to, obviously, about the other Team WWF, brother. Oof,
Oh my goodness.
that's right.
They all have
R.I.P.
some
Del
black in there.
Wilkes.
Yeah.
All
And Sid.
R.I.P. Sid.
yep.
Still mad, man. He should have won the Hall. Oh,
He's in the IDM Hall of Fame
forever.
forever.
First ballot.
Yeah. Indeed.
All right. Well, guys, amazing show. Shout out to you guys for bringing the heat tonight. And if you love the Attitude Era, this was the moment that'll light your fire right here. Has everything: storytelling, chaos, and the crowd was amazing. You can't teach that. They wasn't pumping no fake crowd noises. So don't
Don't
forget to hit subscribe. Leave us a review. We do care about that.
Yes, we do.
Follow us on all the social platforms. If not, StratFax is gonna hit you with a sharpshooter. Until next time, we'll see you guys next week. Boom.
Put that cigarette out.